We've had several comments about the reserve status of the US dollar. I wanted to cover it real quick, shed some light on it, and let it be known that there are different people in different sectors making these comments. One here today, just this morning, the NY Fed warning the dollar will lose its reserve status. Now, we look at what one of the main guys out of the Bank of England has said about this whole thing. What he says is he does not believe that the US dollar will remain a reserve currency by itself forever. They're basically stating that it's going to fall because of everything that's going on here globally. And it almost seems like he's admitting there's some staged element to this. Then he quickly steps up and says that China, as I've said a million times before, will be the next currency to be introduced into the basket. It's not like it's just going to take over. He says it's going to take time. He said it took time for the U.S. currency to override England's. Took all the way up to like 1902 before it was a dominant currency that held a greater power than the rest of all the other currencies. And then it held that status, as you can see, for well over 100 years. And now everywhere you look, they're talking about the downfall of America, the downfall of the economy, the downfall of the dollar. It's losing its reserve currency status. And as many more chime in on this, they're saying that they feel that it's not just going to go away, but what's going to happen is the currencies like the Chinese currency are going to be utilized by countries like Russia more and more and more and more, effectively moving away slowly from the dollar and then using the Chinese currency. Now, they have their own issues as well. To me, they're setting the stage here for all of them to end up falling, to where they can tell the whole world, look, this currency has all these issues, this has all these issues. Neither one's going to do the job. We need a fix for this globally. I tell you what, we're going to try to do away with all the debt globally, and we're going to install this new world currency. How quickly would everyone jump on board when they said we're going to do away with all your debt that's connected to this fiat money? All the nation's debts. Start over from scratch. Clean slate. Well, if you recall back with the tally sticks, when they introduced fiat money and they wanted to do away with the tally sticks, that's exactly what they said. We'll do away with people's debt in this area if you just accept this new fiat money, and that's what they did. Of course, they were kicking down people's doors. They were confiscating the tally sticks like they would probably do for fiat money for some time, so people just realize it's worthless. You're not going to get anything out of it anyway because it's backed by nothing. Here in this country, backed by nothing, as it used to be backed by gold. And of course, right now, China trying to back its contracts with gold as well. But more comments being made about the US dollar losing its world reserve is coming from players at higher levels connected to the big banks and everything else that are making these statements. I'll leave a link. It's been Dabu7.
Shalom, royal family. It's your boy KD84 once again. And before I begin the other side of the lesson, want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Much respect to the elders of the true elders of Israel who laid it down from day one and continue to edify his sheep and day in and day out, and so that one day the hopeful elect of Israel could wake up one day and become the very staple of Israel, so we could continue marching forward in the days to come as we look to extend, help us to get out of this Babylonian shithole called the United States of America. And to all those true elders of Israel, keep pushing, and may Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai bless you with more grace and mercy. Shalom. First, I'm going to start off with James chapter 5, verse 2. And it reads, your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. James 5 and 2. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. You see, this Babylonian shithole has done this incredible run on its dominant currency, so-called dominant currency, since 1971. When we've been taken off the gold standard, and a little right after that, Kissinger arranged a meeting with the Saudis to put us on top of the world currency status, in exchange for goods, particularly oil, which is why Saudi Arabia remains protected today. Now, this is for those that wanted me to follow the stupid ass story of Rob and Sid G, or the bullshit politics of the day, with Miss Kama Sutra and Cory Booker. Shout out to Brenda Johnson for that name. Got to give her credit for that. But for those that want to clown around with the business at hand, that want to continue to follow dumbass stories like the Rob and Sid G saga, or this dumbass presidency, or this dumbass push for reparations, and yeah, I said it. It's a dumbass push for Esau to be a part of Lucifer's plate, which is new push for reparations. Is really a waste of time, in my opinion. And the main thing I want is for Esau as an entire nation to fall. I do not want his reparations. They can keep it. They can burn right along with the bullshit. But going to this so-called country, which is really a corporation, they have been manipulating their status ever since 1971. People can all say that, they've been manipulating their status ever since they got here. But right now, I'm talking about this Babylonian shithole and how it was able to manipulate its status through its weak currency, which is by far the weakest currency in the world right now. All accumulated in this so-called country, it's all tainted with pretty much, robbery, robbery and murder. Basically, that's what they did. They pretty much ruled it with the sword, and that's what pretty much happened. And we're gonna show I'm gonna show the effects of that. I'm gonna go here to Psalms real quick. And it reads in Psalms chapter 52, verse 7. And it reads, lo, this is the man that made not Yahweh his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness. Again, Psalms 52, verse 7. And it states, lo, this is the man that made not Yahweh his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness. That's pretty much self-explanatory right there, family. Esau worships the money. The money is Esau's god, clearly. And the other way they strengthen their wickedness is really through their sword. As anybody could go back to Psalms 58 and 3, saying that this is the very wicked that estranged from the womb, speaking lies. I mean, they did it with lies through their media. They did it through the deceit of their riches. And they also did it through the violence of their sword. I mean, this is really talking about Esau Edom. If you really want to look at the context of the word America, that's what it really means. When you think America, you think Esau, Edom. Okay? I mean, that's how you do that there. You know? I mean, this just goes to show how evil Esau, Edom really is. But at the same time, from my man Dabu 777, its status on top as far as currency is coming to an end. You even have the New York Fed talk about the possible end of the world reserve status as far as the dollar. People are losing confidence in this dollar on a day-to-day basis. And the trust of the dollar is definitely rampant across this country. Now you want to look at the February 15th shutdown, expect more economic plight through this slowdown. It's going to be a lot less sales made. It's going to be a lot less traffic, a lot less activity. And I really fear for the trucking industry as I see a big slowdown in the near future as well. There's already been reports as far as bank runs and banker bail-ins. Those are on the rise. And I'm saying both bank runs and both bankers bail-ins. Now, I warn my royal family this. If you have money in a bank, read up and Google the term bankers bail-in. You do not want your money in that bank when they run this bankers bail-in. There's already been an increase with run on banks. So if you got money in the bank, I suggest you take it out right now before it's too late. Take it out right now before you won't be able to access your cash. Because Esau Edom even has a diabolical plan to take your cash and take everything that you work for. I've heard of retirements get robbed, 401ks get robbed through the bank. I could pull up article after article after article on that. It's like this is me putting the royal family on game. You do not want to trust Esau, Edom, especially with your money. And especially with their institutions called the banks. If you got any amount of cash, I suggest you pull out of the bank right now. You do not want to be a victim of the bankers bail-in through these particular rise of these bank runs. And this is a video that I just wanted to put out. I hope this video wake my fellow royal family up. Just want to give praises to give a big shout out to the incredible True Royal, Lisa Cabrera, my man Michael Ben Israel, Israelites Rules Forever, my man Michael Perry, you know, the whole crew, my man Anthony Bates, and the rest of the Israelites that choose to watch my videos. Of course, shout out to Lioness. And of course, shout out to my Empress, Anointed Empress. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, Shebrew DNA, and on and on and on. And shout out to all the new subs that decide to watch my videos and give me a chance, you know, to give them good content as well. You know, good edified videos through the spirit of Yahweh Shai via the Rakakadash. You know, and I just want to say shalom to the entire royal family. Shalom, royal family. Out.